Hi, welcome to Wrokdown. I'm Wendy Stapleton. In 1959, Captain Cook and the Colonials bought the house down at the Bayswater Footy Club, as you would. Then there was the Rockin' Scorpions, but our next guest was probably better known as the bass guitarist in the fabulous Cherokees. Would you please welcome Pete Tindal?
Hi, Wendy.
How are you, Pete? Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah.
Are you back in Australia for a bit of a visit?
Yeah, I'm back here for 3 weeks to catch up with old friends, etc., and to plug the new album, and also get the Cherokees back together for some gigs. I'm going to get my spade and dig them up, dust them down, and put a guitar on them and get them going. I'm going up to Sydney to see Dougie Trevor and Max the drummer, and anyone else I can resurrect. And
that'd be well. Doug Trevor's sort of been in management. Was it the country scene? Am I right? Or?
Yeah, he's in the country scene, El Fantastico, you know. But
and you've been living in England.
Yeah, I've been living in England, and I've been touring out of the UK and Europe, and I've done the whole thing over there. So it's good.
But you are an Australian boy.
I will never give up the passport. Many have tried.
So can you tell us about your childhood, where you were born, and
Well, yeah, I was born in Ringwood, near Bayswater, and and I grew up there, went to school, and the guy up the back of us was a Scottish guy. He had a real strange character, and I was a bit scared of him. Chit chop, chit chop, chit chop, chimmet, you know, one of these guys, you know, and he used to hear me. I used to sing all the time when I was a kid, like Champagne Charlie is my name, and all those old musical songs. I had a wind-up record player like that, and all these banging old 78s. And what happened was, he said, "Maybe Peter, oh, it was a whole.
Did you know what he was saying?
No, it's a whole stack of Regal Zonophone records, green and red label, and it was like all these old blues guys on it, you know.
And he gave them to you?
Yeah, Howling Wolf. These are 78s. I mean, they'd be worth $1 gazillion now.
What did you do with them?
I played them to
You
death.
probably broke them.
Yeah, no, I didn't break them. I played them to death. I wore them out. Especially like the Mama Done Left Me's, you know, Howling Wolf. And like this, I'm talking, I was only about 7 or 8 years old, and I was exposed to all this obscene race music. And it was
How fabulous for you.
It was, and it completely ruined my life. And look,
what's happening?
Look at this. This is what you'll become like, kiddies.
Just do this.
And then I had a paper round, and I said, I gotta play guitar to this. And so I bought this 10-bob guitar, and it had strings on it like fencing wire. And I used to try and get. I couldn't even tune the damn thing, but I finally worked out. Took some lessons and.
So you were always into the blues?
Love the blues, always into it, and things went on from there. You know, I joined a band called Captain Cook and the Colonials, which had one gig.
But it was a good gig.
It was a good gig.
It would have to be good if it was at the Bayswater Footy Club.
It went downhill from there.
Anyway, who needed that? Because after that you had the Rockin' Scorpions.
Yes, now they were a band, and we used to support the Phantoms.
They were
at
big.
Festival Hall, yeah. We had a record, but the funny thing about it was...
Sorry, just to interrupt, but that's a big leap from being thrown out of the footy club to actually being good enough to go and support acts at Festival Hall.
Well, the Scorpions needed a bass player. They phoned me up, and they had a gig down in Barwon Heads, and it was like one of these, a dance, you know. Everyone went to a dance in those days. And it was the lead guitarist of the Phantomosaurus playing there.
Down there?
Yeah, and he said, good guys, I like that. And so we had to go for an audition at 3DB, and we got the job, and of being a support act. And
that was massive.
It was huge. So, you know, we were just kids, you know.
So you went from the Rockin' Scorpions to
the Cherokees.
How did that happen?
I was working at Dunlop in accounts, and I was really uber hacked off. No
but you were still
computers.
playing, but just
I was
not,
playing, but
not
you
doing
get,
what.
I can't do this. It's doing my head in. And I go home, ding 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 ding, and I was like, oh, ring ring, yeah. What do you want? Oh, I'm Doug Trevor from the Cherokees, and would you want to come down and play on 10th Avenue because we need a bass player for the weekend? Yeah, sure. Because I wasn't gigging with the Scorpions. Went down there and they liked it, and because Billy, the guitarist, was having problems with the wife, and she said either me or the band, so he chose her, City Boy. and meow. And I got the gig, and then
I know that you haven't stopped for 1 second since the moment you joined the Captain Cook and the Colonials. We're going to take a break and be back very, very soon with Pete Tindal.
Wrokdown.
Welcome back to Wrokdown. I'm with Pete Tindal, but hang on, I've got to get it right. Pete Rattlebone Tindal.
Rattlebone Tindal. The name Rattlebone came about when I was with the band in Launceston in Tasmania.
This is the Cherokees.
The Cherokees on the first run out, where I was, still a little kid from Ringwood. And every day they had cold collation, which was cold meat and salad, and I wanted pies and dim sims and chips and things like that. And that's what was on that was it. And I said, I can't eat this muck, and the band said, oh, you bag, because I was skinny, you bag of bones, you got to buy, you got to eat, this is a tour, you got to do it. I said, yeah, just Rattlebone.
And start.
So from then on was bones.
So the Cherokees actually, as you stated earlier, the Cherokees had a number of hits even before you joined the band.
That's right.
However, after you joined, they had quite a lot of success with a few big songs that you'd covered from overseas.
The Righteous Brothers had a song called The Angels Listened In. It wasn't really a big hit, but we covered that, and Roger Savage did the production on it. Roger Savage did the production on all the Cherokee songs right through. To me, the guy is a genius,
We love him too, don't we?
Yeah. Well, it's just that what he pulled out of that damn 4-track recorder, mono, was a bit of a beast of a thing, and how he got that sound out of that box with Bakelite knobs on it, and
so you had the Angels
listened in.
Mm-hmm.
And we had That's If You Want Me To. I sang on that one, and that was a good cover. We wanted to start getting into writing our own stuff, but the evil ones, the Dark Lords who run record companies, said no. Anyway, one day with Doug come into the rehearsal room, put this record on, and ding 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 ding, his own moaner. I said, and your point is? He said, we're recording it. It was like I was like a muppet, What? We have to. Oh. So off it went, and that was a big hit.
It was a big hit.
But it turned what could have been a fantastic blues rock band, stroke soul band, into a jug band.
That's jug, not junk.
Yeah, jug, yeah.
Jug
band, yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened was, it was successful. It was great, and it opened up a lot more gigs to the band, and it did a lot of stuff. We never made any money, but who did?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we just furnished houses for people and bought them cars, and it did. It worked, and they were right. I can't say they weren't right. And then they come out with Minnie the Moocher. And I was like, oh. I said, what are you doing? I thought that was just going to be a one-off.
Same thing. Huge hit.
20 weeks.
Huge hit.
20 weeks up there.
20 weeks.
20 weeks.
It's massive.
And it sold gazillions. And they bought more cars and more furniture and more trips overseas for other people. But we were just the workers, We were the downtrodden little rockers. Oh, that's the sound of the smallest violin.
Yes, but as I remember someone's manager saying years ago, but it's worth it because you just love playing your instruments.
How come you know that one? Who told you that? That's what
Everyone's
we were told.
manager, that's what everyone told you.
Well, they all must come
It's
out of the
worth
same
it
box.
because you love playing your instrument.
Well, I just had
Which
enough
we
money
do.
to maintain the instrument and take little Betty Brown out down to Sebastian's on a Saturday night. You know, it was like...
So the Cherokees split up?
Yeah, and I'm still confused over why they split up. So I'm getting the band back together.
Good.
I mean, I think, you know, I don't care if they can't play. I'll make them play. I have a cattle prod at home. Gee. And, but Max, the drummer, he played great. I was in Sydney the other day and we had a little jam in his room. Yeah, just right, 4 on the floor, I love it.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and, you know, he's still got his muscles. And, yeah, he plays well. And Doug, well, he'll have to go on to bass because any mug can play a bass. That's all you need to do. And then we're going to get a rhythm guitarist from somewhere because I don't know where Lindsay's disappeared. I hear he watches cricket and has done for the last 40 years.
So where did you
Free
make the
advertising,
transition
but
from playing bass in the Cherokees to playing such...
Slide.
Oh, well, I know you did as a kid anyway,
Yeah.
but
Well, I've always been playing guitar.
slide?
Yeah. Well, in my first guitar there was a slide. And I used to run up and down the neck. And I thought, that sounds like that black guy. Yeah. That's how they do it. I wonder how... And that's how I got going. It was like that, you know. It was like an Hawaiian type thing.
Mm.
And
But
now-
except like that.
Yeah, but now I use a bottle. I mean, I've got a little business. I've got some little elves cutting the necks off bottles, polishing them, and I sell them. Wait.
I'm only looking at you half curiously because I believe you probably do.
Yeah, oh yes, I've got little elves. I back onto a wood. My house backs onto a wood, and I've got some little elves.
After the Cherokees.
Come back,
Come back, please, come back.
Yeah.
What happened?
I went to work in a guitar shop in Parramatta that was my straight face, yeah, which lasted 2 weeks. And I thought, I saw this, I've had it, I can't do this anymore, I'm going to England. But before I went to England, I ended up in Amsterdam in a little den.
Why am I not surprised you said that?
And I stayed there. It was called the Milky Way.
I've been there.
And
I think you must have spent a very long time in the Milky Way.
I did spend a long time in the Milky Way, and I started to and I then moved from the Milky Way. I moved to Belgium and Antwerp, and I played in all these gigs and all these clubs all the way through. I was just a wandering blues man. I didn't have a car or anything. I'd catch a train or a bus or I'd hitchhike with this guitar and I just toured everywhere. I just went Denmark, Sweden. I did the whole lot.
You did the whole lot.
They loved it, and I was really. That's what I did, and I was happy. And I used to get taken home and put to bed, you know, and get fed in the morning and kicked out and move on. I mean, I just did what a blues guy did.
Wow.
And that was, you know, okay, I'm not a black fella, but fine. That's what they did and that's what I did. And I played it and I loved it. And then I went, I got these great aspirations. I'm going to England. So I went to England and I got a job playing bass at Chapel Music in Bond Street, doing sessions. And one night it was late, it was about 11:30, and I'm playing this, you know, that was the line. And I felt this vibe, and I looked up, and here's Jimmy Page and Robert Plant looked at me going, yeah! And went, so I just melted into the floor, you know.
I think we'll take a short break here, and we're going to come back and hear about... can you just give us the name of the band again, please?
Chainsaw, Sprocket, Knucklehead and Tank.
That was Chainsaw,
Sprocket,
Knucklehead
and Tank.
And Tank.
We're adding a new segment to Wrokdown in the coming episodes. Susie Pinder, our radio presenter from Southern FM, will be seen out and about interviewing our TV and radio artists at gigs around town. So stay tuned to Wrokdown.
Wrokdown.
Welcome back to Wrokdown. Well, I'm with the wonderful Pete Tindal. I don't know whether to call you the wonderful Pete Rattlebone Tindal or the wonderful Pete Knucklebone.
Knucklehead.
Oh, Knucklehead.
Yes.
God, it gets
No,
better,
Rattlebone,
doesn't it?
that's the one I've always had. Knucklehead was from the band Chainsaw Sprocket, Knucklehead and Tank, which was a one-off album biker band jobby done in Byron Bay.
Tell us about it.
Well, I wrote these songs with Trevor Wilson, who was with the La-Di-Dahs.
Yes.
And Jim Beam, who contacted me about doing a Jim Beam song.
Mm-hmm.
So Trevor and I wrote, Old Uncle Jim and Me. And so we sat down, we wrote the thing and put it off to them, and we love it.
So was it with a promo in mind when they
promo?
asked?
The whole album came out of a promo, you know.
Yeah.
And they said that's really good. Here's some crates of Jim Beam and $3,000. I said thank you very much. That was $3,000 each. And that went well. The crates of whiskey went down very well.
Very well.
And
And all of a sudden, before you knew it, you had 200 biker friends sitting
well,
there.
yeah, with the whistle whiskey. And I knew a few of the, I think they call them nomads. And I started to see, well, these guys, you know, interesting little bit of lifestyle here. There's a song there. And it sold really well.
So what year would that have been?
That was
in the
86.
86?
Yeah, 86. And then it sold really well in New Zealand and obviously Denmark, Sweden, Well, I don't, for some reason, they like what I do.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, well, I think it's quite interesting.
And what was that album called?
Black Denim Trousers.
That did very well for you.
It did very well. And
did you stay in Australia long at that period of time?
I stayed here about 9 years. But like all things, it's got to come to an end, and I went back to England, and we got things going over there again. And I met up with Guy Denning. His grandfather was Lord Denning, Master of the Rolls. He was aristocracy. He thought, I want to be, because he was a punk. He said, but I want to be an engineer. Daddy?
Could I have the barn?
Could I have, yes. And did the barn up. Oh, he got
beautiful studio.
He got a studio there. Yeah. And
is it a working studio now as well?
It's going very well. Yeah, he's doing. Because there's 3 studios there now.
What are the names of the studios? I'm just interested.
A, B, and C.
Oh, stop it.
That's it. He's got the main studio upstairs. There's a mastering suite downstairs, and there's a writing suite on the other end. I do all my recordings in my lounge room. I put all the guitar parts. I take forever.
Yeah, but when it's yours, you can.
I can. I don't have to go, that solo just cost me 2,000 quid.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
That's right. That's why you can take your time.
So I've got all the gear, which matches his. I mean,
so do you mix up at his?
Yeah, I take it down to his and mix, and he gives me mates rates, and I, give him a slab of beer and a few.
So were these 2 albums made there?
Yeah.
Can we talk about them?
Yes.
This is Pete Tindal, Rattlebone. It's called Steel Road.
Yes, that Steel Road, it actually existed. I was driving out to Wales to a gig, and the sun was just coming up really early in the morning, and the sun was just coming up, and it hit the road, the highway. It was the M4, and it looked like steel. I thought, you're hallucinating again, Peter. Will you please stop it?
And this is called...
If I lived here, I'd be home by now.
I'm glad you said that, because it's... Tell me what happened to you when you were driving down this road.
That's just driving from Colorado into Utah, right?
It is very clever. It's just that my eyes wouldn't focus on that, but it is very good.
And that... and I said, Larry is the bass player, pull over. And he's a kind of Florida boy. And got out and set the cameras up, because that was a perfect shot.
That's a wonderful shot.
Poof.
Because you tour a lot in the States, don't you?
I'm still doing it. Yeah.
I know you do. And before we started the interview, you were telling us that you sort of do everything yourself that you possibly can do. You set up your tours, you do your own albums, you go to America, find the gigs.
Well, the reason why I do that is that I know exactly what I want, within the depth of my madness and my stupidity, I know exactly.
I don't think there's a lot of stupidity there.
I found a happy balance. And if I mess up, if I make a complete and utter botch of it, I can say to my personality who is responsible for it, I can talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go into a great big spiel with some other personality. I can speak to my personalities and reprimand them and cattle prong them and do all the bits and pieces that need to be done for that personality.
You've been wonderful fun, and look, you have been. You've been great fun because we've been really naughty and cheeky today. But all the best with your albums. We hope to see the Cherokees.
Yes, it'll happen. I'll make it happen. Even have to put formaldehyde in them and, put a little motor there.
Thank you so much, Pete Tindal.
Lovely, Wendy, thank you.
See you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
I guess we all had quite a time all those years ago, when the high times and low times ebbed and flowed. We used to hang out in the bar rooms and disco nights, laugh with all the hungry eyes, looking for soft delight. But one time chance came and went, then my luck ran out and I hit the deck. I should have told her the last time we met, but I chickened out. Oh, what the heck. And I let it all slip through my fingers. I watched you fade away, and I let it all slip through my fingers. Hey Wendy, where would we be today? I called up my local Brujo to ask if she had seen you. She said you'd run off with the mechanics and the clowns. She went and put the word out on the street, and the men